Since 1951, when the first race was run, the river city of Whanganui has been playing host to the greatest street race in New Zealand, the annual Boxing Day Cemetery Circuit bike race. And since then, its fearsome reputation has grown and it's attracted some of the best racers in the world. Each year, the Boxing Day event, which is also the third and final round of the Suzuki International Series, brings thousands of people to Whanganui to watch what has become 9 competitive classes. From 300s to sidecars and the fire-breathing superbikes, and just about everything in between, racing around this 1-mile circuit, dodging potholes, white lines, power poles, and thrilling the thousands at the roadsides and themselves in the process. This is Boxing Day at its best, and it never disappoints. Round 1 of the Suzuki International Series takes place at the Taupo International Motorsport Park. It kicks off the New Zealand summer of motorcycle racing, and just like last season, is also the start of the NZSBK, the National Championship Series. This has been an unbearably hard year for Mitch Rees, the F1 Superbike national champion and the defending Suzuki Series champ as well, was keen to go racing again. He got off to the perfect start. Mitch, pole position in the first Superbike race, mission accomplished?
Yeah, I guess that's what we came here for. So always want to go faster, but pretty happy with the time. Just keep plugging away at it.
It's one of those things, and I don't want to be a downer about it, but you can't win the series in the first round, but you can pretty easily lose it.
Oh, for sure. Don't let the ego get in the way. Just need to win it by the smallest amount possible. That's all there is to it, I suppose. But hey, you always want to have a good time and try and do your best.
Coming into last season's racing, Rees was still recovering from a serious crash, and now at the beginning of the series was still feeling the effects.
Oh yeah, so. I think everything, you can always be better. So body's definitely getting better. Still struggling a little bit with some pain now and again. It's not been flexible enough, but it's not too bad.
Making a welcome return to the competition side of things, multiple New Zealand champ and local legend, Tony Rees. Tony, I know that you guys have been doing a bit of riding and you've done track days and things like that. It's a little bit different when you're laid on the line here in qualifying and racing, isn't it?
Yeah, track days are quite comfortable, really. You wake up this morning going, wow, I've got to go and put it on the line a little, dig a bit deeper, and I don't really probably have to dig deeper at my age, but you always want to, you always put your best foot forward, for all the people that support what we do, and we're glad to be here, be part of what we love about this sport, and that's racing.
With a devastating and unexpected loss of Tony and wife Vicky's youngest son Damon in the UK in our off-season, both Mitch and Tony found the racing somewhat therapeutic.
Yeah, definitely. Motorcycling is good for your mental health, put it that way, you get on there and, you're just focusing on having fun and doing what you do, and everything else should go out the window a little, but I'm glad to be here racing and, go and have some fun.
More than competitive, after years away from the top level of the sport, it was still all about winning, either the NZSBK or the Suzuki International Series.
Oh, hey, you want to win both series. This series is fantastic, thanks to Flea and all his team and Suzuki for getting behind it. It is a fantastic series. So, hey, we want to try and win both series, and he's done it before, I've done it before, and hopefully we can do it again. That's the challenge in it, to try and get 3 championships in a row for him, and we've got to try and get our name on that Robert Holden Memorial Trophy again.
That'd be sick of engraving your name on it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I can tell you now, we won't see my name at the top of that again, but hopefully we can get Mitch's there.
One rider trying to stop that happening was 24-year-old Davey Todd from the UK on the M1 Motorsport BMW.
Really looking forward to the cemetery circuit races. I've heard about it years and years ago, and honestly for years I've wanted to come over here and do this series and experience New Zealand as well. I'm truly excited to get to cemetery circuit. I've heard we don't get any higher than 3rd gear, which is certainly a lot different to ones back home like the Northwest 200 and the Alaman TT, where you're quite often sat at 200 miles per hour. It's a little bit different, but I enjoy wherever I race. I just enjoy racing motorbikes, so I'm looking forward to it.
And have you found the track here at Tautoko?
It's a great circuit. It's a great little circuit here. Gives me a little bit of a feeling of a road race with the bumps and stuff like that. It's quite fun, and there's not a whole lot of grip out there. I've discovered no matter what you do, I think everybody is suffering with grip a little bit, so it's just part of the track, and it makes it quite fun to race as well.
While Todd had the lead heading into turn 1 here, it was Mitch Rees that everyone had to be wary about. The top qualifier and winner of Saturday's dry race 1, he repeated the dose in the wet of Sunday's race 2 and 3 to lead the series, closely followed by his father in second place. At the second round at the Manfield Auto Course circuit Chris Amon, a lot of the pre-race chatter was about ex-World Superbike and MotoGP rider Anthony West from Australia. Not surprisingly, he was quickly on the pace.
I've been overseas in Europe for over 20 years and racing in nearly every championship in the world, and one place I've never been to is New Zealand. So it's another one to tick off the list, and yeah, so happy to be here. It looks like a beautiful country when I flew in, and we drove up from Wellington. Yesterday was fun on the track. It's a little track, but it's a fun circuit. So.
When you step back from the world stuff, did you think you'd still be doing it now?
Nah, I was pretty much done with it. I was over the politics and just I wasn't having fun anymore, and I took a step back and drove some trucks for a while, and then realised how boring life is without motorcycles, so I had to come back. And so I'm happy to actually have some fun now, like enjoy racing and sort of back to where I started. Enjoy it, just go out and having fun racing motorcycles.
Yeah, Manfield's a great track, really suits my style as well. Being strong on the brakes really matters here, and that, as I say, that really suits me. So it's an awesome little track, like tight enough with some fast straights as well. The last corner I love the most, I think.
Good conditions out there. It's pretty warm, so I guess the track temperature's up a wee bit.
Yeah, for sure. It's probably about perfect for track temp. Just the only thing's the breeze sort of pushing you into 1 and into 5. So you kind of have to be wary of that then. You don't want to push it too much in there. But yeah, all in all, it's really, really good.
How many changes would you have made to, say, compared to Taupo and here at Manfield?
Quite a bit. We've just we're still actually playing around with gearing, just fine-tuning it. And it's such a heavy braking circuit, and it's kind of like 3 drag strips, and so it's all about getting the grip from the rear and the power to the tyre as well. So we've made a couple of big changes. You're always playing with the bike, it's never perfect, but I think we're in the ballpark for this weekend.
The fickle New Zealand summer played its part on Sunday at Manfield, and the by now expected rain came down in race 2, and so did points leader Mitch Rees. Mastering the tricky conditions best of all and getting his first win on New Zealand's damp soil was Yamaha's Ant West, but Honda's Tony Rees in second. Welcome back to our coverage of the Cemetery Circuit and the Suzuki International Series. It is a coolish morning here in Wanganui. A little bit humid and not too much sun shining in the early parts of the day. For your 2 Superbike races and the Robert Holden Memorial. One of the favourites on the BMW, the UK's Davey Todd.
Yeah, it's certainly tighter than I expected. It's something different, something like I've never done before. I've obviously done a lot of road races, street circuits before, but not like cemetery circuits. So it's certainly something different, something that I've got to learn, but I'm out there. The next few sessions, I'm on 3 bikes now. I'm not sure if we'll get to race all 3, probably 2, but yeah, really enjoying the circuit, and the crowd looks like it's building out there.
You've got to try and make it flow. And going out there then, not being here for 5 years, it took a little bit of getting my head around it, especially when we're riding a 215 horsepower Superbike. Probably the first year I rode here, I probably had 30 if I was lucky. So 215 horsepower, you have to respect it,
Yeah, I know Tony's just a machine when it comes to street racing in general. Like, you go through every street race that we've had in New Zealand and he's just dominated, So, that's probably not something, a record I'll break in our family, but hey, regardless, it's pretty cool. But I think, just around this place, it's just a matter of flying, having fun, and just getting out there and just trying to not make any mistakes.
So we get set for the first race, and there is Mitch Rees. He is the defending champion. You'll notice he's running bike number 92. That's a tribute to his late brother. Have a look too for the rest of the field, working their way through there. Luke Temple, number 99 on the big Suzuki. The one to watch on the start. Watch two for number D, and that is Davey Todd from the UK on the M1 BMW. But it is the youngster of the Rees clan out in the front first, and that is the man that qualified first, and that is Mitch Rees. Remember, on the 92 in the black colours of Ugly & Co. Bench Racing, Carl Cox Motorsport. That's the colours that Damon Rees used in the UK in the support program for the British Superbikes this past season up in the UK. So 92, Rees in the front. His father, 11, leading the points, going in by one single solitary point here to the third and final round at Wanganui. That is Tony, and in third place it will be Davey Todd, and then right in behind him his good friend, and that is Richie Dibbon on the Barrack Sports Bar DS Moto Suzuki. So that's the first four of them completing the 1 mile in the old distance lap in round about 48 seconds. So the pace is on right from the very start. Into the Auto Super Shots Tower, turn number 1 they go, down the short chute and out onto the sharp as line haul straight, which is Taupo Key. They hit maximum velocity across the Suzuki crossings and down into the S's, up Hedge Road past the cemetery they go, and already the two Honda boys out in the front starting to pull away. You're riding on board here with the local favourite, and that is Richie Dibbon on the Suzuki GSXR 1000. Just up ahead of him is Davey Todd. Oh, and Dibbon gets very close as they work their way through the Robert Holden turn, brought to you by Trade Zone Wanganui this year. Up the Kiwi Insurance straight and into the Trade Zone corner. Now down through the main freight curves and out over the Bridgestone Bridge. The race leader completes another lap. It's Mitch Rees from Tony Rees. It's Todd through in third. Then we go back to number 91, and that is Richie Dibbon. And in behind Dibbon, I think it would be number 68, and that is Luke Riley on the iTools BMW. This is the battle for third and fourth on your screen at the moment. Out onto Taupo Key they go once again. You're on board here with Richie Dibbon. He's chasing down his good friend, and that is Davey Todd from Salton in the UK, the Milwaukee BMW racer from the UK, about to start the 2024 Bennett Superbike season as one of the favourites. Dibbon gets a little bit closer as they work their way through Robert Holden. Once again, the Trade Zone Robert Holden turn. Back on board here with Dibbon. Down through the main freight curves they come now over the Bridgestone Bridge. Not a lot in it. Already you can see the disappearing dots up ahead. That is the father and son combination of Tony Rees in second and Mitch, the defending champion, the defending New Zealand Superbike champion, in first place. He qualified first, he's in the lead. It doesn't get better than that here at Wanganui. There is Tony Rees. There is Davey Todd on the Valvoline sponsored M1 BMW, M1 Motorsport BMW. And then behind him, it is the DS Moto Suzuki rider, and that is Richie Dibbon. Richie Dibbon preparing a Supermoto bike for Davey Todd as well, and they have been trading paint and places right throughout the first two rounds on the Supermoto bike. I know that Davey Todd's had some bike issues at Manfield. They had brake issues. Hopefully that's behind them now. Tony Rees goes across the Marshall Motorcycle start-finish line once again and into the Auto Super Shops Tower front straight. Number 11, the veteran, back. He said his mission is to help Mitch win the two championships, go back-to-back for a third time, and that's what he's doing at the moment. When Mitch fell at Manfield, that meant that this man inherited the lead in the F1 Superbike competition in the Suzuki Series. Back on board here with Richie Dibbon as he goes under the Emmett's City Box Containers pedestrian bridge and now makes the move on Davey Todd. Well, Davey Todd may be an issue there with the Beamer because that pass looked easy as they went through Robert Holden. So Dibbon moves up into third place now. Still the Rees father and son combination in second and first. Mitch in the front, Tony in second. Over the Bridgestone Bridge comes Richie Dibbon now in third place. Down the Marshall Motorcycle start, finish straight they go, and into the TSS Motorcycle straight. Now it's the Auto Super Shops of Tawa, turn 1, down the short chute and into the Sharp As Line Haul, turn 2, before they start the fastest part of the infamous Cemetery Circuit, and that is Taupo Key, the Sharp As Line Haul straight. Across the railway crossing, the Suzuki crossing, up into Heads Road, heading towards the Emmett City Box Containers Pedestrian Bridge, and then into the Versatile Homes and Builders Straight, heading for the Trade Zone Robert Holden turn. There is the 91. The favourite son here from Wanganui doing double duty. This is Richie Dibbon. He's in third place now. In fourth place, the last time we looked, it was the M1 Motorsports BMW of Davey Todd out of the UK. White flag out, so 1 to go. Dibbon crosses the Marshall Motorcycle start-finish line. Here is the race leader. Heading through the Suzuki crossing and up into Heads Road once again, up onto the Versatile Homes and Builders straight towards Robert Holden. And this is Mitch Rees, and I can tell you he is firmly in the 48. Conditions are good here. They smoothed the road, they resurfaced the road a little bit last year. So I would think that maybe the lap record could be under threat. They were very fast in the qualifying. The sun's come out now. The track temperatures come up, and the checkered flag will be coming up very shortly for Mitch Rees. He will win the first race of the F1 Superbikes here at the Cemetery Circuit in Wanganui. He draws first blood on the Honda. In second place, it will be his famous father, Tony, and in third place, it will be the local favourite, and that is Richie Dibbon. Mitch Rees waving to the big crowd here at the Cemetery Circuit. He wins the first Superbike race of the morning, brought to you by XSPR Shoei helmets. So official results tell you that Mitch Rees is the winner from his father Tony. In third place it's Richie Dibbon. Then we go back to Reese Lindsay out of Wellington.
It's a pretty special day, and to do that with your dad on such a momentous sort of a day is pretty special, bro.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. Yeah, it's definitely a tough one being here and running his number, but that makes it all the more special. The bike's working well, so just you got to bond together, and we got a great crew of people behind us. So yeah, very fortunate with what we got.
Plenty more action to come from the Cemetery Circuit here in 2023. Welcome back to our coverage of the Suzuki International Series and the Cemetery Circuit. Since last season, the Suzuki International Series had featured the standalone New Zealand Supermoto Championship. The defending champion is Richie Dibbon, and he was ready to defend his title. Expected to chase him all the way, England's Davey Todd on a Dibbon-prepared Suzuki RM450Z. So we're expecting a clash of the Titans between the number one, the New Zealand champion, Richie Dibbon, and letter D, that is Davey Todd from England. Davey just recently competed in one of the biggest supermoto races in Belgium, so he comes hot, and it's Todd that leads him into the turn number 1. And that is the Auto Super Shops Tawa turn 1. Right in behind him, number 1, that is Richie Dibbon. And this is what they've been doing right throughout the 2 previous rounds. They've been swapping paint and places. And you will see from our coverage here as we take in the high-speed drone that they fast disappear from the chasing bunch. At the moment, it looks to be Mike Kyle getting a good start on the KTM, sitting up in third place. Then it's Craig Scott. Back on board here with Richie Dibbon. The DS Motos RM450s prepared by Richie Dibbon for his great mate. They have raced together up in Europe previously when Richie was up there on a racing and race engineering sojourn a few years ago now. Dibbon has been untouchable in New Zealand on the Supermoto bikes, but Davey Todd has taken the fight to him, and you see there that Dibbon gets a little bit closer as they head down the Auto Super Shops of Tawa straight and down onto the Sharp As Line Haul straight, Taupo Key. They're side by side as they head to the crossing. Dibbon's got to give it up as they work their way through the left-right switchback and under the Emmett City Box Containers Pedestrian Bridge. Heading into the trade zone, Robert Holden. Here comes the big move from Dibben. He draws level and passes up the inside and makes the pass stick by the look of it. Nothing Davey Todd can do about it. So we've got a change in the front running of the Supermotos, brought to you by Bike Talk Taranui. So it's Dibben in the front now, Davey Todd in second. We saw at Manfield that Todd can certainly get back to the front of the field. Unfortunately, he had a fall in one of the races there, and that has virtually handed that number 1 plate back to Richie Dibben because of the point spread. But they'll put on a show, make no mistake about it. Virtual identical RM450Z Supermoto machines, born out of motocross bikes, but fine-fettled and ready to race. And fine-fettled by DS Moto. So Dibben leads Todd in 3rd place. The last time we looked anyway, it was the KTM of Mike Carl. In behind him, number 167, Tyler Lincoln from Havelock North was there on the Husqvarna, having a fairly rare appearance on the Supermoto machine. Another one racing 2 classes today is Tyler. There he is on the white bike. In behind him, number 62, this is Craig Cud Scott. Craig is one of the volunteers of the cemetery circuit. Been up virtually all night building the circuit around the waterfront area here at Wanganui. There he is just in the back of that shot, number 822, just in front of him is Roger Bland on another Suzuki RM450. Suzuki looking for a 123. 167 though is Tyler Lincoln. Another one doing double duty. You'll see him out in the pre-89, pre-95, post-classics. Husqvarna mounted, working his way through the Suzuki crossing. Then it's Bland. Then we go back to Kyle, by the look of it, on the KTM. Once again, riding with Craig Scott. Now, Craig Scott is the king, or the grandfather, I guess you'd say, of Supermoto racing, because back in the 80s, he was racing a motocross bike in Formula 3. Why was he racing a motocross bike? Because of the fast acceleration and the peaking power. Well, Supermoto's been around for 10 to 15 years, but Craig Scott's been doing it since the 80s. We're on board with him now on his CR450F Honda. There he is on bike number 62, getting as aerodynamic as possible over the Marshall Motorcycle start-finish line. Behind him is Mike Kyle now on the KTM. So this is the battle for the man in 5th place now. Just up ahead of him, the 822. This is Roger Bland on another DS Moto Suzuki RM450. Looking for a Suzuki sweep in the championships overall. We're back on board here with Craig Scott on the Honda as he heads down into the trade zone Robert Holden turn. This 90-degree corner in the memory of the late great Robert Holden. Sadly lost his life at the Isle of Man. Across the start-finish line they go once again. The gap around about the same. It's probably a second, maybe a second and a half between Richie Dibben and Davey Todd. Both of them very accomplished Supermoto riders. Richie Dibben has a quick look behind and he knows that his great mate is right there, so he can't afford to make a mistake, can't afford to have a miscue, miss a gear, or hit one of the various white lines or the potholes around the circuit. That's how close Davey Todd is at the moment. On board here with Todd, trying to chase down Richie Dibben at the front of the field. Dibben goes through the Robert Holden turn. There is Todd. You ride on board here on the DS Moto Suzuki. Down into the main freight curves and up over the Bridgestone overbridge they come. Across the Marshall Motorcycle start-finish line once again, so at least 2 laps in it. On board here with Mitch Rowe, one of the veterans. Mitch just took the New Zealand motocross title for 60-year-olds. Been around for a long, long time on the dirt and also Supermoto. Oh, and going past them there, number 35, Will Young on yet another Husqvarna. So Young now in front of Mitch Rowe. And in front of Mitch Rowe, Russell Josiah, past New Zealand Superbike champion on the number 12 machine. So they all come out to play here at Wanganui. You're back on board here with Mitch Rowe, trying to get that position back. This is the spot for a 5th and 6th place. Down Taupo Key they come, the sharp as line haul straight, the fastest part of the circuit, down through the Suzuki crossing, under the Emmets and City Box Containers pedestrian bridge, and now heading into the Robert Holden turn. Rowe looking to go up the inside and gets down under braking in front of Young. Can he make it stick? I think he can. Meantime, back at the front of the field. Oh, there's an issue. There's an issue here for the 1NZ. Richie Dibben looking down at the motorcycle. There's a problem here. And Davey Todd is closing like a missile. He won't believe what's happened. He's got a late Kiwi Christmas present because Richie Dibben is in all sorts of issues. Now, did he miss the count? Did he think the white flag was the checkered flag, or is the mechanical problem? Whatever the outcome, it's D. Davey Todd in the front now. The man from the UK, the man that's going to be a superstar in the Bennett's British Superbikes, on the Superbike, and in the front here. You're on board with Richie Dibben, and he's slowed dramatically. So Davey Todd is going to take the win in the Bike Talk Supermoto race number 1 here at Wanganui, and he can't believe his good luck. And look at this, he's looking round what has happened to his great mate Richie Dibben. Todd cannot believe what he's seeing or what he's feeling at the moment. He'll take the win, make no mistake about that. There is Richie Dibben, and he has had the win sadly taken from him by a mechanical issue, and it looks like Roger Bland goes through in 3rd place. So Davey Todd gets the win, surprisingly, from Richie Dibben. Tyler Lincoln is 3rd, then it's Bland in 4th.
I don't know what happened to Richie there, to be honest. He was just eking away from me. I couldn't really do anything about it, man. He's fast around here, looks so smooth as well. I don't know if he had a little bike issue, but he must have given me the good bike.
It's a pleasure to have you over here. We watch you on the internet and stuff, and thanks for coming out to New Zealand and doing the Suzuki Series.
Yeah, it's honestly awesome to be here. I've obviously been really looking forward to Cemetery Circuit specifically. Really enjoyed Taupo Manfield, but this is the one I came for. I love real road racing, and it's awesome to see all the fans out here on Boxing Day. Where would you rather be, honestly?
Hey, that's Davey Todd, everyone.
We're going to take a break, but when we come back, more action from the Cemetery Circuit. Welcome back to the Cemetery Circuit here as part of the Suzuki International Series. Always popular around the classic racing scene, the post-classics always draw a crowd in both junior and senior ranks. A man that was at his best when the post-classics were new, a long-time Suzuki stalwart from back in the day, Eddie the Cat Kattenberg. Eddie Kattenberg, I'm going to take you down memory lane for a little bit, because here we are at Manfield, and you were here back in, some say, the heyday of New Zealand motorcycling and World Superbikes.
Yeah, that's right. We had 2 World Superbike rounds here, which was just amazing. Manfield really is probably the spiritual home of Superbike racing for New Zealand, so yeah, it was great. And I don't know, I've been coming here since 1980. I started here on the RD 400, so I've been doing a lot of laps around here.
What can you do as per rules to the pre-89s, pre-95s?
Geez, there's a big list of rules. No engines bigger than 1300. We still run 1000cc, so it's well within. No modern brakes. Suspension's pretty well open. And basically, as long as it looks like it did in 89, it's all good.
Leading the post-classic senior class was Top Wars youngster Carl Hooper on his Kawasaki GPZ 750.
And it does feel pretty good. It's been a pretty good series so far, so just looking to continue that today.
Carl, who was leading the F3 class, was proof that it wasn't just the oldies riding the oldies.
Well, mainly the bike got offered to me 4 years ago to have a ride on, and then ever since then, you know, it's just been a part of what we do during the year, you know, go do like some classic festivals and then come and do the Suzuki Series on it.
So this is another big field of the pre-89, pre-95 junior and senior post-classics, brought to you by Inferno Design and Digital. And a look at the start that number 60 Tyler Lincoln has got. He will lead them into the Auto Super Shops turn number 1, and right alongside him Jordan Burley on the Honda in the Rothmans livery as well. 723. Burley's been given these Kawasaki boys fits over the previous 2 rounds, and he slots into 2nd place. In 3rd place, it's number 56, and that is Carl Hooper. He is the points leader. But Lincoln and Burley going out like there's no tomorrow as they head up Heads Road into the trade zone Robert Holden turn for the first of 8 times. the Honda in the front, the Kawasaki GPZ 750s in second and third. It is Lincoln and Hooper on board here, looking out the back of Tyler Lincoln's Kawasaki into the face of the 56, the points leader, and that is Carl Hooper out of Taupo. Long-time classic racer, and he gets a 2-for-1 deal as they come down the TSS motorcycle straight into the Auto Super Shops turn 1, and tries to take both Tyler Lincoln and Burley, and manages to do so as they head out onto Taupo Key. Yellow flags flying for the 45. Good news is the rider's okay. Racing continues though, it's only a localised yellow. This is what happened. That was coming into the trade zone turn. Back to the front of the field, and it's now Hooper in the lead on the Kawasaki. A bit of a classic specialist, a bit of a Norton specialist is Carl Hooper. 60, Tyler Lincoln in second place. Then we go back to Burley. A good start too from the 15 of Perry Lett, and Lett a name to conjure with here at Wanganui. A son of Barbara and Joe Lett. Big supporters of the Cemetery Circuit for years and years and years. So he's back in 5th place at the moment as the leader crosses the stripe once again. This is Carl Hooper. Number 60 is Tyler Lincoln. Then we go back to Jordan Burley. Next one through would be Perry Lett, so he's picked up a spot. And in there as well, Dean Bentley. Now, this is pre-89 and pre-95, seniors and juniors. Anything under 600cc is a junior, anything over 600cc is a senior. So essentially 4 classes up for decision here. Taking the onboard shot from Tyler Lincoln as the leader heads down into the trade zone Robert Holden turn once again. Down the Kiwi Insurance straight into the trade zone corner and out onto the main freight curves they go, and there's nothing in it for first and second. Burley just dropping off the pace a little bit in the Rothmans livery 750 Honda, sitting in 3rd place now. So across the stripe goes the 56 of Hooper. Right in behind him it is Lincoln. There is Burley. So he's got a little bit of work to do to get up into the number 1 spot. Now back in 4th place, we think the last time we looked anyway, it might have been Perry Lett on the Suzuki 750. So down onto, in fact it's Jean-Louis now. Then we go back to Perry Lett, by the look of it. Jean-Louis was a top contender in the first 2 rounds, but hasn't been able to match the pace of the Kawasaki's in this, the Inferno design and digital. Pre-89, pre-95, post-classics, taking the high-speed drone shot, and they're struggling to keep up as they work their way in and out of the trade zone turn. This is Jordan Burley. Then we go back to Jean-Louis on that very colourful Yamaha. On board here with Jean, currently sitting in 5th place. Down across the Marshall Motorcycles start-finish line he goes into the TSS Motorcycle straight. Now it's into the Auto Super Shops Tower turn 1. On board here, he is in the senior competition. The number plates are slightly different in each of the classes. The white backing on the number plate is a senior bike. The yellow backing is a junior bike. So there is Jean-Louis on the senior production machine, post-classic. That is the Yamaha, the man from Hastings. Meantime, back at the front of the field, positions pretty much the same as they were. Already into the lap traffic goes Carl Hooper and Tyler Lincoln. Back on board here with Hooper as we head down the TS Motorcycle straight across the Marshall Motorcycle start-finish line into the Auto Super Shops turn 1. Lincoln just getting a little bit closer, but to just get the feeling he might be running out of real estate here as the laps wind down. It's really a sprint race in all of the races here at Wanganui, because the circuit is 1 mile in the old language, 1.06 kilometres around. It is a point and squirt circuit, especially when you've got the power that some of these 750cc machines have got. Lincoln gets a little bit closer, under brakes for the Robert Holden turn, the trade zone turn, and now they get together again. Lap traffic in front of them, taking the pictures from our high-speed drone as they head down the main freight curves and over the Bridgestone Bridge once again. Looking out the back of Tyler Lincoln's Kawasaki, that's a lap rider behind him because Jean-Louis is now very, very distant. Into turn one they go once again. 2 laps in it here at Wanganui, and it is Carl Hooper, the points leader in the Inferno Design and Digital pre-89, pre-95 Classics, and also the points leader in the F3 competition as well. Another one doing double duties here at the infamous Cemetery Circuit. Tyler Lincoln also doing double duties here on the Kawasaki, but also in Supermoto. Oh, and that was a very close call there for Carl Hooper from one of the lap riders, but no harm, no foul. They work their way down the main freight curves. We take the action from the high-speed drone as they head towards the Bridgestone overbridge and the white flag this time, so it'll be 1 to go for Carl Hooper. It'll be 1 to go for Tyler Lincoln. Can he do anything about it as they're in the midst of the lap traffic heading down into turn number 1? Oh, and another near miss, this time for Tyler Lincoln. Saw that other Kawasaki just about turned in on top of Lincoln. You're on board here with Lincoln, looking out the back of the machine. This is the race leader, though, number 56. That is Carl Hooper out of Taupo. 391 just ahead of them. That's a lap rider. That's Tim Fraser on the Yamaha. He's not going to play a part in this one because he's going to be dropped like a stone as they work their way down Heads Road and into the Robert Holden turn for the last time. Lincoln gets a little bit closer. Has he got something for Hooper as they work their way into the trade zone turn? Not quite close enough to make the pass stick, but we've seen some big moves coming here as they head towards the Bridgestone overbridge. It's Hooper in the front. He's led it from lap number 2. Is he going to lead it all the way? Here comes the charge from the 60. It's too little too late, and Carl Hooper gets the job done. Tyler Lincoln has a bit of trouble pulling up his Kawasaki in second place. So it is the 56, the man from Taupo, and that is Carl Hooper. He wins. In second place, it will be Tyler Lincoln, and in third place, it's the Honda of Jordan Burley. Fourth place, the Yamaha of Jean-Louis.
Yeah, I sort of cooked my start a bit. I don't really know what happened, but yeah, Jordan and Tyler came flying past, and they had a good little battle, and I was able to take an opportunity and get past both of them at the same go, which was good for me because Tyler's been looking real quick today. So once I was ahead of him, I was able to sort of ride my way and possibly even a bit defensively just to sort of make my way of riding quicker.
Time for a quick break here at the Cemetery Circuit. When we come back, it is the F2 600s. Welcome back to the Cemetery Circuit, and they are lined up, ready to go on the grid. The IPONE 100% Motorcycles F2 600 class. Have a look there for number 43. That was Cole Williams. This is number 54, Jacob Pearce. Now, he's lined up on row number 3. In pole position, though, it is Shane Richardson. There he is on bike number S. That is the KMD Kawasaki 600, and alongside him number 15, and that is Rogan Chandler on the Top Cat Roofing Suzuki New Zealand Suzuki. Now the man missing is the man that has already cinched the F2 600 class, and that is Invercargill Cormac Buchanan. He's done enough by taking wins at both Taupo and Manfield to clinch the title. Rogan Chandler had a crash at round number 1, and Shane Richardson had a crash in round number 2, and that handed the title to Cormac Buchanan. He's not here, he's concentrating on the NZSPK, but we have got the 15 of Rogan Chandler. We're looking from the back of Shane Richardson's Kawasaki. These two have been battling it out long and hard for the minors. How close do you want to go? Rogan Chandler on the 15 on the Suzuki. He's a past Suzuki Series champion. Missed out on the NZSPK Championship last year. Shane Richardson has been racing overseas, firstly in the US and then in the UK for the last 4 or 5 years. Great to have him back and getting support from Grant Chivas' Kawasaki team, KMD. So also in the field, we've got 2 Stroud brothers, Jesse and Jacob Stroud. We'll get to see them a little bit later on. But this is the battle at the front of the field under the Emmets and City Box Containers pedestrian bridge. Down through the Robert Holden turn they come now into the trade zone corner, and onto the main freight curves go the Kawasaki of Shane Richardson and the Suzuki of Rogan Chandler. Both these two from Wellington. Richardson from Wainui Yamada, the Kawasaki in the front of the field, and then behind him the 15 of Rogan Chandler from Upper Hutt. Rogan for a long time, a Yamaha racer, now racing on the Suzuki's, Top Cat Roofing in Suzuki, New Zealand. Ray Klee helping out as well. Wainui Joinery helping Shane. Got his whole family here and his new extended family from the UK as well. Talks with a bit of an English accent now. He's been away that long, but certainly hasn't lost any of his speed. Richardson on the Kawasaki leads it. Rogan Chandler is second. In third place, the last time we looked, it was the Ducati of Wanganui's favourite son, Luca Durning, on the number 12. But these two, as they have done in the previous 2 rounds, have absolutely cleared away as they head over the Bridgestone overbridge once again to complete another lap over the Marshall Motorcycle start-finish line they go. And Rogan Chandler hasn't got an answer at the moment for the man in first place, and that is Shane Richardson. 99 is Morgan McLaren Wood, a man in a big hurry, about to start another campaign in 2024 in British Superbikes in the support section. Really came into his own last year on the Suzuki, running in the wet and forget team. It's been a meteoric rise for Morgan McLaren Wood. You take the onboard pictures, and thanks once again to Mike Gill from Kiwi TV for the supplemented onboard pictures here at the Cemetery Circuit. There is Luca Durning on the Ducati. Another one of the Wanganui bunch of very, very quick motorcycle racers is Luca Durning. The 99, Morgan McLaren Wood, getting some assistance and some advice from Brian Bernard, another Wanganui stalwart. And there is Durning on the Ducati. So this is a battle for third and fourth place. And behind them would be Jesse Stroud. But don't look for the MV Augusta. He is riding a Suzuki machine here at the Cemetery Circuit. Back on board here with Durning on the Ducati through the Suzuki crossing under the Emmett's City Box Containers pedestrian bridge. He goes just up ahead of him, the 99. That is Morgan McLaren Wood out of Cambridge in the Waikato. As I said, about to head back overseas again to begin his overseas campaign in the Bennett's British Superbikes. A man in a heck of a hurry, if you'll pardon the pun. They all are here at Wanganui, and track conditions perfect, and we've seen lap records threatened in every class so far. Are we going to see the lap record broken here by Shane Richardson or Rogan Chandler on the 600cc machines? Wood comes out of the Sharp As line haul, turn number 2, and down the Sharp As line haul straight Taupo Key through the Suzuki crossing. Listen to the different exhaust note from the Ducati machine. On board here with Luca Durning, getting a little bit closer to the 99 of Morgan McLaren Wood. McLaren Wood on a Suzuki, then it's the Ducati, then we go back to Jesse Stroud. As I said, not riding the MV Augusta. There is the 54 of Jacob Pearce. He's back a ways as the S of Shane Richardson looks to put him a lap down. Richardson leads it through the Suzuki crossing. He goes, extending that lead now to Rogan Chandler. And this is what happened. We had rain at round 1 in Taupo. We had rain at round 2 in Manfield. Richardson came into his own in the rain. Yes, Cormac Buchanan was the top dog in the first 2 rounds, which doubled as the NZSBK series. But when the weather took a little bit of a turn for the worse, it was Richardson, the man that's just put the 54 of Jacob Pearce a lap down, who came to the fore. S. Richardson on the last lap, so 1 to go. 1 mile in the old language of point and squirt racing here for Shane Richardson. The last time he was here at Wanganui, he made it into the Robert Holden Memorial and finished third, finished on the podium on a 600 machine. He's on a 600 Kawasaki. He was on a 600 Kawasaki back then. The speed certainly hasn't gone away for Richardson as you ride with him, heading up Heads Road towards the Robert Holden turn for the very last time. Richardson leads it. Rogan Chandler, a distant second place now. And then it's the 99 of Morgan McLaren Wood. But this man is going to claim first blood in the IPONE 100% motorcycling F2 600 sports production class here at the Cemetery Circuit. Shane Richardson takes the win has a look behind to see where the opposition is, and we can tell him he's a fair way behind, but it is Rogan Chandler in second place. These two battling out for second position in the Suzuki International Series. So Richardson gets the win. Chandler is second. In third place, it's Morgan McLaren Wood on the Suzuki. Then it's the Ducati of Luca Durning.
I think I'm puffing more than Shane is, eh? 51 second standing start, and then you did a 49 flat, mate.
Hey, I mean, I don't know if you remember, but you messaged me earlier saying you expect a 49. I said, I've already done one of them, so you raised the game to a 48. I don't know what I'm doing. My lap time, my GPS isn't picking up, so close, but not quite, eh?
Well, a huge thank you to all the sponsors and especially Suzuki for providing coverage here of the Cemetery Circuit. It's round 3 of the Suzuki International Series, but sadly that is the end of episode 1 of our coverage. But come back next week on CRC Motorsport for episode 2 here from the Suzuki Series.